Hello everybody, welcome to your quick little video tonight. Today's topic is graphing in slope-intercept form. We need to recall a couple things. First of all, our equation in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. We've got to be remembering now what these letters stand for. We know that m stands for our slope, b always stands for our y-intercept, and then the letters x and y simply represent an ordered pair that would be on the line once we have it graphed. So let's look at our first example. I'm given a problem that has a slope of 1/3 and a y-intercept of -3. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in these blanks here. My m represents slope, which is 1/3. My b is -3, because b always stands for y-intercept. So my equation in slope-intercept form would be y equals 1/3 x minus 3. Now let's remember what m and b stand for besides slope and y-intercept. M stands for, remember, think of our football problem. It stands for the movement, how fast you ran, your speed, your rate. So m represents how much we're going to move, and the b stood for your beginning position on the football field. It's where you started, what yard line you started at. So b, I'm going to think of as where I begin. So if I want to graph this, I need to begin with my b. I begin by plotting my b, my y-intercept, which is -3. So I'm going to come over here to my graph, and I'm going to put a point at y equals -3, my y-intercept. Then from there, I'm going to move my slope. Now a slope of 1/3, if I know that slope is rise over run, my slope of 1/3 tells me I'm going to rise the 1 and I'm going to run 3. So from my y-intercept, I'm going to move up 1 and then I'm going to run 3. From that point, I'm going to rise 1, run 3, put a point. Rise 1, run 3. Okay? Now, I also know that the same exact thing as 1/3 is -1, -3, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So instead of going up and to the right to get a positive, I can also go down 1 and left 3, because that would also be the same as having a negative slope. Going down 1 and then left 3, down 1, left 3. I want to continue this process with as many points as my graph will allow. Then I'm going to take my line, take my ruler, line them up, and I have a line drawn to represent y equals 1/3 x minus 3. To check myself, I'm going to see from left to right, this is an uphill slope. Uphill is always positive, which is in fact the type of slope I have, so I know I graphed that correctly. All right, let's do one more. Here I'm given that my slope is 4/3, so I know that's going to be my m in my equation. Okay, but I don't have my b. I was not given my y-intercept just right away. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to solve for that. Okay, well, we remember that every equation follows the form y equals mx plus b. I know my slope is 4/3. I know what a y and an x on my line are, and that comes from that information right there. I see that my x is -3 and my y is -2. That's not your y-intercept, because remember, a y-intercept is where x equals 0. X is not equal 0 here, so that's not our y-intercept. But it is, in fact, a y and an x that I can plug into this formula. So for y, I'm going to plug in my -2, and for x, I'm going to plug in -3. I am going to put that as a fraction just to help me. And now I'm going to solve for b, my y-intercept. 4 times -3 is -12 divided by 3 times 1, which is 3. Now I solve for b. -12/3 is the same thing as -4, so I have -2 equals -4 plus b. Add 4 to both sides, and I will see that my b is equal to 2. What does b stand for again? B stands for your beginning position, where you begin. So in my equation, y equals my slope, which is 4/3 x, plus my y-intercept b. I am going to begin with the 2, my +2. from there, I need to rise the numerator, 4. So I rise 4, and then I'm going to run 3, since 3 is positive. And I'm going to continue that. Rise 4, run 3. Now remember that a positive slope, I could also have a negative divided by a negative. So I could say -4 divided by -3, which would tell me to go down 4 from my beginning position, go down 4, and then left 3. Down 4, left 3. Okay, now I'm going to take my ruler, line it up, and I end up with my line. Again, it's going uphill. There's my positive slope, y equals 4/3 x plus 2. Now, if you were given a negative slope, something like -1/2 as a slope, keep in mind that negative could be written in the numerator, it could be written in the denominator, even though we never see it, or it could be just written out in front of the number. Okay, so when you're graphing, if you keep in mind the two ways of writing a fraction with a negative, this could tell me to go down 1 from my beginning position, and then +2 would be right 2. And from my beginning position, this one tells me to go up 1, and then the negative would tell me to go left 2. You want to do both of those so that you get points on both sides of your y-intercept. All right? I hope this helps you do your homework tonight, and I will see you guys tomorrow.